Oh, look at these guys.
Yeah, cool.
Look at that. That's Tahiti.
Tahiti, yeah, because we saw the...
What a cool kid.
We're here at 2022 Worlds. We made it down to Wollongong.
Wollongong.
And so today we're going to talk about the differences between an aero bike and a climbing bike. So the Stratos being the climbing bike and the Helios being the aero bike and the differences between the two. We also sat down with one of the UCI Polygon Pro riders, Metkel, which is riding on the Aero team.
Big team here this year.
Yeah.
Really big team. They look the business, great kit.
And they have a serious
friendly,
chance of hitting the podium, so it'll be really exciting. We also checked out his Helios, and it's looking really nice in that colorway. So let's start off with our Mount Kira experience.
First time riding Mount Kira. So a lot of the pro teams were up there, a bunch of really big names were riding around, so we got to fanboy a bit, but riding with the Helios and the Stratos up Mount Kira, definitely a different feeling bike between the two. You had the Stratos was much more kind of comfortable, planted, more solid feeling, I guess you could say. How did you find the Helios?
I found the Helios extremely stiff, really responsive, and it's a nice looking bike. I know that's not really how it felt, but you felt fast on the bike. And I think that was because of the looks, the shape of the tubes, the integrated cockpit. A lot of the elements made you feel really fast, but overall, very stiff, very responsive, and quite comfortable. However, you did feel a lot of the vibrations in the imperfections when it came to the road riding experience. So I felt the bumps.
Yeah, you feel everything, you know it's all there. Good for peace of mind, yet you feel like you know you've got good traction. I love the Helios because it just feels so sprightly, light on its feet, really gets up and goes when you kind of throw some power down. Also in the corners, because it is really stiff, you can really push it into corners, descending. I really like that. That was kind of my key takeaway, was just how rock solid it felt. Yeah. But still being really light and sprightly.
And then the Stratos was different in the sense that it's a climbing bike, and I would say it's more for endurance. Really comfortable. I'd say big difference. The first thing I noticed jumping on from the Helios, very stiff. Jumping on the Stratos, automatically, like right off the bat, I felt that it was more comfortable descending and on the flats, hitting potholes, which you don't want to hit in the first place.
No.
But if you do, you definitely don't feel it as much, which I enjoyed. I think the head tube is a little taller, so you're more upright. So it's
more upright geometry, a bit less kind of aggressive, I think, in the steering.
Yeah.
So the steering is a bit slower to react, but that's what you want out of an endurance comfy bike. You're not always adjusting your body position for the steering. Whereas the Helios, you know, as soon as you think about turning, it's already off into the corner. So it's different ride feel. Less to think about, I think, on the Stratos.
How did you find the wheels? The wheels?
Yeah, so big difference. The Helios has a deep section carbon wheel, whereas the Stratos has plenty of spokes in an alloy wheel, so really strong and nice and durable. Yeah. I'd probably want them as a everyday wheel, but in terms of raw speed and kind of getting out of the saddle and jumping a bit of power through the pedals, the carbon wheels in the Helios is pretty big difference.
Yeah. While down in Wollongong, I had a chat with Metkel Eob of the Terengganu Polygon cycling team to get his thoughts on the men's road race and his journey into bike racing.
My name is Metkel Eob. I'm from Eritrea and I'm riding for Terengganu Polygon team. And I'm start riding when I was 15 and 16, and now here in Australia for World Champion with my national team. Yeah, so far it's like it's good place, good training, and all people is nice. Everything I like. It's good, perfect. We came here like to do something special here, especially with the Binium. So yeah, we try our the best. To do some good result. For me, like I race most time in Asia. When you go to Europe, little bit technical, everything. But I think this year will be better. I think my team, like teammate, my Biniam. So I'm sure the circuit will be hard. yeah, I hope everything will be good.
They're coming through.
Oh, and here we've got our
There we go. What is?
Thailand,
Yeah.
New Caledonia.
New Caledonia.
Yeah. So 3 key features for me on the Helios were really stiff front end, stiff bike in general, adjustable seat post, so you can really move your position around, and it would be the electronic shifting. I'm a big fan, so I'd want to go for the electronic shifting.
Yeah, yeah.
They're my 3 key features of the Helios.
My 3 things that I loved about the Stratos were the fact that you had complete adjustability when it came to the stem length and the handlebars. You also had that sloping top tube, which gave you that responsiveness up the hills, which is really nice. And at the same time, it's very compliant, very comfortable on the road for longer rides. So those are my top 3 things. Today we had the luxury of coming down to Wollongong, which is the 2022 World Champs. And we had the opportunity to hit up Mount Kira climb, which is part of the course, as well as the city circuit, and test out the Stratos and Helios. Stratos being the climbing bike and Helios being the Aero road bike. And we really discussed the differences between an Aero and a climbing bike and which ones we preferred and how we felt on the bikes. What would be your favorite?
For me, it was the Helios. Yeah, it was much more aggressive, much more spicy, more enjoyable down the descents. You really get a lot out of it if you choose to put a lot in. But if I was just cruising around, then the Stratos would be really nice.
I originally went with the Helios, but after talking to you and having the conversation and testing out both the bikes, and I've spent a lot of time on the Stratos, I have a sweet spot for the Stratos. That's purely because of comfort and also the complete adjustability on the front end. And that would be my pick. And we want to know what you prefer. Well, you can't actually ride the Helios now, not yet, but soon. Let us know if you're someone who likes an Aero road bike or a climbing bike.
Or any questions on the ride feel. Yeah. Because we've ridden both back to back. We have a bit of a feel of what they might be. So it'd be good to get some feedback, what you want to know.
And who do you think is going to win on Sunday? Let us know in the comments down below.